So you want to be a player, but your wheels ain't flying. You gotta hit us up to get a pimped out
GitHub pages. GitHub pages. Here's something neat that you can do with GitHub. You can actually have some gists or gists, or I think they're just called gists, that you can pin to your channel. And the special property about gists that you pin, unlike regular repos, is that they have a preview on your profile page. So someone just clicks your profile and they can have some nice previews. So this is what we'll be making in this video, namely this thing, which is a little updating gist that tells us what my latest YouTube videos are. And you could put it for your YouTube channel too also. Just what are gists? What are gists? We're just going to rip through here. If you go to gist.github.com, okay, I don't know what I just did there. Go to gist.github.com. You can create a new gist. So hello, and give it a name. This is the name. This name up here is the one that will come up on your profile, this one. And you can give it a file name, like something. And hello there, and you create a public gist, and there you go. You can share it. This is a direct link. Up here is the ID. There are some creative uses of gists. In fact, GitHub gave away a prize for the best creative use of a gist June 3rd, 2019, and there were some interesting uses. So these are some of the winners. He looks like he used a JSON in his gist. Not a huge fan of that, but looks like he's got a nice little gift there. Nice little gift there, buddy. So it's not bad. This is kind of nice, you know, this little cat thing. Who am I? What do I do? These are nice, eye-catching. These ones, Amy. She put her CV there in a GIF. Not sure how much of a fan of that I am, to be 100% honest with you, because it's so small. Like, I've zoomed in for this video and it's still insanely small, and it's just ripping by. It's just like, if you were in a job interview, you just go like there's my resume as a GIF. Anyways, that's pretty cool. This guy also, you know, pretty creative use of GIFs. And if you click a gist, for example, this guy's blog, then he put the second file of the gist, so gist can span many files. So usually in the second one you give more info for people that were captivated by this epic GIF. Let's say you want to upload a GIF on your gist. The unfortunate thing is you can't just add a picture or any sort of file directly here that's not text. So what you have to do is update this, then we have to come here, clone via SSH. We're going to copy this. Let's go into a folder just so it doesn't get busy. So we have to git clone it, and you'll notice that it has no name, it has a hash. So we're going to go in there, and now we have something.gif there. What we're going to do is remove it, and let's say we had a GIF saved. I have one saved here called Sinner Animated. You can just save it on your computer, copy it to this folder like that, then git add, git commit, and there's that's it. You can only add and commit. You can't branch or anything. These are like weak repos. They're just gists, and you can push. And that's the only way to put the images there. That's the only way that I found anyways. Here, refresh, and there we go. That was the GIF that I uploaded. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Alright, so pictures are not too exciting. Those are pretty cool, pinning all those stuff like those guys did in the competition. But there's also, you can dynamically add data to these pinned gists. You know, say your latest tweet or your latest to-dos, your favorite movies, whatever. On some other service, you can have it as a gist, and have it update whenever that service updates or something like that. And so this interesting project was called Awesome Pin Gist by this guy, Match AI. So for example, he has his latest tweet as a pin gist with, this is how many likes it got, a whole 1, 0 retweets, absolute, you know, so it's pretty cool. So the way these dynamic gists work is basically, here I drew a diagram for you guys. There's a GitHub action, and if you don't know what that is, I'll quickly cover it. A GitHub action that calls, using a cron job, a script that changes the gist. That's an I. So hopefully that solves it for you. So GitHub action are basically, if you ever see this tab, these are YAML specified CDCI pipelines or tasks that run based on specific events. If you don't know anything about GitHub Actions, I highly recommend this video. It's super cool.
Is that a gram? New
GitHub pages.
What do you think?
Whoa, very nice. Look at that.
It's very cool, Bateman, but that's nothing. Look at this.
That is really nice.
Eggshell with Romalian type. What do you think?
So for the rest of this video, I'm just gonna go through quickly making this little pin gist widget. So we have to make a repo separate from that to get the work done. So let's do that. So first we need to acquire the data that we want to display in our gist somehow. So this could be using the Twitter API, this could be using a YouTube API. So for me, I'm going to be using the YouTube API because I want to show my latest videos. But for you, it could be whatever service. So then you just find the docs to the particular API that you want. So here is the YouTube API. I've loaded it here. It gives you some instructions on how to use it. Use your Google account. So you're going to want to do all that stuff. And eventually it'll give you an API key. I like to use a Jupyter Notebook or Jupyter Notebook just to try some API calls out, just to flesh stuff out, and then maybe copy paste them back into a script or something of some sort after I kind of have all my surroundings. And you know, you play around with some requests. I was playing around with a lot of requests just to get exactly what you want. I'm not going to go over all of this. It's pretty typical, you know, data mangling kind of stuff. So GitHub also has an API for updating gist. Well, it has an API for doing everything with gist, but the one that we're worried about or concerned about is updating a gist, which is a patch request to /gist/ the gist ID. So you will need to get the ID of the gist that you want to modify. For example, this one's gist ID can be found up here in the URL. It just looks like a hash. It right after your username, so that's the gist ID for the GIF. Try reading through these docs. We have to send a request that has the name of the file that we want to change and the contents that we want to replace those contents with. Play around with it until you can kind of get a feel for the API and you can start writing those gists yourself. So finally, when it's all said and done, you got to make some GitHub Actions. And the way GitHub Actions work is GitHub will look for a folder called .github. And in that folder, you have a folder called workflows. And in those workflows, you have YAML files that are different kinds of workflows. So I just made one. It's called main.yaml. I saw the other pin gist were calling it schedule.yaml. Doesn't really matter. And here is mine. Feel free to copy it or use it as a base. So basically, you give it a name and a condition to run on. So right now, I'm scheduling it to run every 5 minutes. So this is a syntax called cron. It's used pretty extensively in the Linux system. If you're not familiar with it, because it's a little bit weird to look at, there's this cool website called Crontab Guru that really helps you with learning the cron syntax. So here at just all stars, it's every minute. If you put, let's say, a /5 here, it's every 5th minute. So just quickly covering the rest of this, it runs on Ubuntu latest. This checkout thing helps the action check out other repositories. Then it sets up Python. I just said 3.8 because why not? Install the requirements, say. Then we have update gist, and this is the important part, this env section. You have to pass forward the environment variables to the Python script. So the GitHub token, you can access it like this. The gist ID, I'm just setting directly because it's not a secret, but I want it to be an environment variable in that other one. Channel ID, and the YouTube API key that should be saved. Then run just python.main or python main.py. And the way you set environment variables is you go into your settings, secrets, and you set these tokens like this. You get new secret, name it the thing that you named it in the code. So we're going to get all these API keys through environment variables. So that's very important. Remember, that's how you're supposed to do it. That's YouTube box or anything box. You can just follow the same workflow. Feel free to use or not use any of the code that I showed today. Yeah, and if you want to use exactly YouTube box, the easiest way for you to do it is just to fork it and change those two environment variables to your YouTube one and your I think it gives a little bit of personality to your GitHub pages, and you want to look cool. It looks cool. I think it looks cool anyways.
So you want to be a player, but your wheels ain't flying. You gotta hit us up to get a pimped out
GitHub pages.